everyone. Thanks so much for joining me back again here as we talk my favorite subject, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them. Thanks so much for listening. I do appreciate it. Today we're going to be looking at Thor 347, written and drawn by the one and only Walt Simonson. This issue is from 1984, and as you can see here, things are looking pretty bad for our dear Lorelei. If you notice, her hair is red. I've always said Marvel has more redheads, I think, than there are in the whole world. So, you can follow me on Pinterest if you're interested. I post lots of my artwork there, as well as I have a lot of pins from some of my favorite artists, and I'm always getting more. Jim Lee, Walt Simonson, Frank Miller, John Cassidy, Chris Samney, Bill Sinkovich, oh, so many others. So, David Finch. So go in there, take a look. It's sort of a one-stop place to look at some of your artists' favorite drawings. Also on Twitter, I post my own artwork and a comic book I'm working on as well for free. And Twitter is Art of J Velez, and the same is on Instagram, and that's jvelez622. So, like I said, here we go. So we're going to switch to our so we can get it nice and big. So, Thor and Roger are heading into the Cotswold of England and the hopes of rescuing Melody from Malekith. Here are our credits. Walter Simonson is doing the writing, the penciling, and the inking. The one and only John Workman Jr., who is my favorite letterer. Him and Tom Orzechowski are probably the two greatest letterers. I know there are others like Todd Klein, who does phenomenal work, but look at this. Love it, love it. And so, here comes Roger. And of course, here are some of Malekith's minions here. So, Walter, they're going to take him to Malekith. Walter Simonson. One of the things I really like about him is just he puts in just enough so that you can get the detail. Very simple. He doesn't waste a lot of time on the backgrounds. He just gives you enough so that you can sort of see what's going on. But of course, Roger was playing possum. And from behind comes the mighty Thor. Good punch. You can just see the two guys flying out. And he has knocked them out. Thor was going to put some oil, that's called the oil of vision, but he had two vials and one of them broke. So he gives the one that is available to Roger so that he can see here. They can see, this allows them to see clearly as the world of the Faerie. So he gives it to Roger. Thor basically says he can be able to see a little bit, but not as good or as well. And Roger here says that the castle now just looks like ruins. Thor tells him not to be misled and that they need to be ready. And so now we're back in Asgard with Balder fighting this sand devil. Love how Simonson just how long he makes it. So he's saving this woman, and this person is impressed by how Balder is willing to risk his life and in the face of death, and so, and here he goes. Balder, if you've been following, I have all of these issues that we've covered so far in a playlist, so feel free to check them out, and you can see how why Balder is so big. So he looks more like me than he does the one of the warriors, but check them out. I have every Thor issue that Walter Simonson has done from 337 until current, which will be this one here. And as I do more, we will put them in there. Also, this is going to be probably the last single issue that I do, and then I'm going to start kind of moving it along by just doing a like story arcs at a time, so that we can kind of hurry it up. So, because this is the conclusion to the and this guy throws the sword toward Balder, and basically I'm going to just start doing story arcs at a time, versus single individual issues. I've been slowly starting to do that with most of the stuff. So, all right. Anyway, these two disappear, and this is, of course, Agnar, who Volstaff had been sitting on. So he's now a big fan of Balder. So we're back on Earth. Walter Simonson flips back and forth between the two. So if you remember, Melody gave Thor a potion, and Thor is lovesick. And he even says that, he's just never felt this way before. And of course, it's because he's got an enchantment. And he just has to get to her. They're attacked by these water elementals. And they plan on eating both of them. But of course, Thor won't let them. And great figure work, great action by Simonson. He's just one of my favorites. I truly love this run. I have every issue of this series, and I love this series so much, particularly Simonson's run. He's just one of my favorites. Whenever I need inspiration, I just look at his work. So this is the entrance to the realm of the Faerie. Roger says, we should get some help, and Thor says, you're right, but, because he's so in love or feels this love, he just has to get through. So, and find her. So, here's Malekith telling everyone that to be ready, and of course, here comes Thor. He is not going to be denied. He's clearing all the soldiers, and he is noticing how he is attracted to Melody. So, time to hatch a plan. So back in Asgard. So Balder basically says ask her who she is. Obviously she's not who she claims, and she is one of the Norns. So she calls herself weird. I don't know, but she's one of the three sisters, and they have been waiting for Balder since time began to talk to him in this place. And Simonson, of course, he's just moving things along for the next story arc, so this won't be resolved here. So these are the three sisters, and they're gonna tell something to Balder, but we're not gonna know at this time. And we're back in the realm of the Faerie. And so more elves rush through, but they're just pushed aside. Thor is fighting like a madman, and he's leaving Roger behind. And Roger's like, he can't cover him, and he's just possessed to get Melody, and sees Malekith here, who's got these creatures that attacked him earlier, and he's gonna feed Melody to them. And of course, Thor is super concerned, but Roger says it's not real. It's an illusion because they had already dealt with the creatures. And so Malekith throws Melody, and of course, Thor is panicked and just runs through because that's all he cares about. And Roger is overwhelmed, and Thor's not paying attention to anything. But Melody, he hits Thor, and this is just a great panel here by Simonson. And this Algrim the Strong is going to kill Thor. But of course, Simonson we gotta move. So now we're back in Asgard. Love how he uses, this is how Asgard was depicted even from the times of Jack Kirby. So Odin has gathered the Warriors 3 and basically told them to find every available person that can fight because war is coming to Asgard, and he doesn't know whether they will be able to survive it, but they sure as heck are going to fight for it. So this is kind of wrapping up everything that's been happening from 337. So we're about to see. So basically 348, 49, and 50 are the culmination of everything that Simonson has been building since 337. So war is coming to Asgard. So we're back. Thor is fighting. Malekith tells them to open the trap. They ask what of Algrim. Malekith is like, well, he'll lie in glory and with Thor spring the trap. So Thor and Algrim fall. Roger yells for Thor. And if we see here, Thor is falling. So we go back up. And says he's had now got his revenge on Odin for his banishment. He's given Lorelei to Wormwood, but says to go easy on her because after all, she's the one that drugged Thor with that mead, and they're gonna take the casket away from Roger, which was needed. I love this panel. I love Walter Simonson's art so much. So, and Malekith doesn't know what to do with Roger, but he decides that he's going to blind him so he can never see again. And he's struggling, but Malekith sends his magic toward him. And of course, Roger gets away, but Malekith says, "Don't worry about it. He's blind. He can't do anything." And to prepare, because Malekith's plan is coming up. Roger's not done. He can't see, but he is going to do everything he can to stop Malekith. And Malekith assembles everyone, and he's going to open up the portal that's been holding our big bad from 337 with everything done as Surtur is coming to attack. So this concludes this, not just this issue, but this story arc, and then we're going to head into the next story arc, which I will hopefully, if I can get these videos into a more manageable way, just do the entire couple issues at least. So thanks so much for listening. Goodbye.